Every unpaid case study your candidates submit is a potential training dataset. The problem, your legal team has no policy for it. Pre-interview assignments have been standard practice for years. Strategy tasks, coding exercises, market analysis. Organizations send them to filter candidates at scale before investing time in a conversation. That logic made sense in 2018, and in 2026 it has a different consequence, because the output that the candidate produces are human-generated, domain-specific, professionally motivated work. That is exactly the data profile that AI training pipelines are optimized to collect. And you are distributing it unsolicited to an unknown number of people with no IP agreement in place. So ask yourself 3 questions. Does your organization have a policy governing what candidates may and may not do with your assignment brief? Nope, because the brief goes out unsigned. Second, does your organization have a policy governing what you may do with candidate submissions? Almost certainly not. And third, does your organization have any visibility into whether submitted work is being processed through an AI tool before it comes back to you? Nope, you have no way of knowing? Well, that's a bad thing to do. So this is a 3-sided governance gap. You created it the moment you send out that task. Beyond AI, 2 older risks still apply and are now compounding. First, there's reputational. Candidate experience is public, and if you go on LinkedIn, you will see a lot of people complaining about those things. A poorly designed task, for example, no brief, no time limit, no feedback. That generates negative employee brand signal at a scale. A talent market where your candidates might talk to each other, this cost is real. Then there's the legal issue. In several European countries, work produced under recruitment process may carry IP implications that you might not even have stress tested. Candidate data, including submitted work, is in this scope as well. None of these risks are hypothetical. They are usually unmanaged. Assignments that are legitimate evaluation tools, like the condition that makes them legitimate, that's really specific. So first, you need a conversation before the task. A 30-minute call establishes fit, sets context, and signals a mutual investment. If you cannot justify a call, then you cannot justify the task. Second, a defined brief with a time limit. So it cannot be an open-ended prompt. There have to be a specific preference test and scoring category. Third, you need an IP and data handling statement. 1 paragraph. It tells the candidate what you will do with their submission and protects your organization from the inverse question. Fourth, feedback, or at a minimum, a decision notification. Silence after a multi-hour task is a governance failure and a brand failure simultaneously. So basically, there are 3 things you have to take away from this video. One is that your pre-interview task process is an unmanaged data governance risk. Treat it as such. The other thing is that the absence of IP and data handling policies around candidate submission is an organizational blind spot, not a candidate problem. And the third thing is that a defensible hiring process is a proxy for an organizational maturity. Your candidates are already reading it that way, and they are talking to each other. If you run hiring processes or advise organizations that do, I would like to know, does your organization have any policy governing what happens to candidate submissions? Drop a yes or no in the comments. I suspect the answer is overwhelmingly no, and that's worth documenting. Subscribe if you want more content on AI governance and organizational risk from someone who works inside those systems. Feel free to subscribe, like the video, share it with someone else, follow me on LinkedIn or buy me a coffee. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you in the next one.